Bashar said. So I'm going to ramble incoherently for the first 3 minutes in the event that someone shows up. And I can tell the main story, because the main story is a beautiful thing. Stupendous, succulent, fabulous. So I listened to two strange things today. Thing number one was I was watching this near-death experience podcast, and this very well-known researcher in that field, scientific researcher, I can't remember his name, but he's one of those guys whose name you definitely heard over the years. And, he was talking about interesting stuff. He was talking about deathbed visions, hellish experiences, heavenly experiences. And he said something really bizarre that I can't make any sense of. He said, "Oh, the afterlife. I can't wait to spend the next 5 million years with the Lord." First of all, he specifically said 5 million years with the Lord. Why 5 million? Why not 5 billion? 5 trillion? That was the weirdest shit ever. And I'm thinking, well, he's a Christian, so he's very, based on what he's researched about near-death experiences, to him the conclusion that he's come to is that Christianity must be the truth and must be real because of all the sightings of Jesus and so on and so forth. But he's talking about 5 million years with the Lord in heaven, prancing about. Now, I don't know about you guys. To me, that sounds so boring. It sounds so boring. I'm not against experiencing things like consciousness, experiencing or what it perceives to be new things. To me, that's fascinating. That's interesting. But it's also one of the reasons why I'm so fed up with this place and so burnt out, is because I have all this strange shit happening indeed. But it doesn't feel interesting. It doesn't feel mysterious or uplifting to the soul or giving me some kind of benefit. It's more like just an endless thorn on your side, just endlessly poking you. And I really wonder, But I mean, that's the next 5 million years. I can see myself exploring consciousness, exploring mysteries, because even in the realm of all that is, there is mysteries that are unsolved. Which brings me to my next point. Bashar is talking about how, you're an individual unit of consciousness, and you're an expression of sort, and you are representing an aspect of all that is, and you're helping consciousness expand. You're helping creation expand. And I'm expand? Where is it expanding to? There's nowhere to expand to. And it's the same idea with this soul growth shit. Where is it growing to? It's perfectly fine just the way it is. Because there's no other moment that exists, right? So what is it growing to? What are these things expanding towards? How can that thing even be possible? if all that exists is now, then logically and technically speaking, it's not possible for anything to truly expand or to grow, because there is no sequence of events from one to the next for it to do so. It's just now. Good night. Oh, Pangreedy, hi. But Viru, I haven't even gotten to my main story yet. Hang on. So, as we know, I have myriads amounts of weird shit happening for years on end with no end in sight. And today, or yesterday, it started yesterday, when you drive into LAX, sometimes, especially on the weekends, they have checkpoints, police checkpoints, and they stop you and talk to you and everything. So I stopped at a police checkpoint, and there was 3 cops, female, 2 males. The female cop looks me straight in the eye and starts doing this. Except while she's doing that, she's giving me a sinister, bizarre look, and I'm just staring at her. Just staring. Cannot figure out what she's trying to convey because she didn't say a damn word. Like the other guy was talking. Did you come from San Diego? Yeah, I did. So whatever. I just moved forward and went out, just went about with my day, because I'm kind of used to weird shit, so I didn't really think too much of it, or like you guys know, even bothered to share it with you because it happened yesterday. And considering I have people giving me strange looks constantly and strange behavior around me constantly, it's just become part of the norm of my experience. So what makes it strange is what happened today, and I know I already put this in a community post, but I think it's important to visualize this. Hello, Adelie, Aslan. So when I arrived at LAX today, everything went completely normally until we arrived at the terminals, and the main door, sliding door, would not open. It wouldn't open at all. Like, no matter what I tried to do, it was just sealed shut. And after like 5 solid minutes of trying to figure out, I had no choice but to open the emergency latch, which ended up causing a massive alarm to go off, super annoying alarm. And the lights wouldn't turn off. So I'm like dropping these people off with this door flying around. Like, it's just flopping about a little bit, but it was uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable and annoying and kind of embarrassing, frankly. And so, as I dropped everyone off, I left and tried to figure out what to do next. Like, nothing I did worked. So I ended up having to use my belt to secure the bar of the door to the other steel bar so that it wouldn't fly open as I drove. And I had to drive from LAX to Riverside. I was in 3 different counties today. And that's like it's not 3 different counties like in Vermont or something. 3 different counties in California. The counties are like the size of states. It's quite a day. And so I somehow managed to bring it back with this alarm blaring in my ears nonstop the entire time. I couldn't turn it off. And whatever. Long story short, the buses are serviced in Riverside. So I thought about what happened yesterday with the police lady pointing to her ears, and then I have this alarm going off. And I'm not necessarily saying that there is a connection, but it most certainly is a very bizarre coincidence. And just kind of a strange event in general, because with these relatively new vehicles, there shouldn't be any issues like that at all. Anyway, it's become normalized. The strange, bizarre reality has become completely normalized to me, which is unfortunate. Yeah, Dan, that's what happened today and yesterday. Like, is it a normal thing? Like, say you're interacting with somebody and they go like this, and they stare at you with a sinister look. Is that like a normal thing? Is that something like you expect to encounter for no reason? Because to me, it's absolutely not a normal thing. I had mentioned some theories I have about these contrived events over the years. I'm not sure I really want to talk about it, but I feel like they have to do with foreign debt that we owe, and also atrocities that we have committed overseas, and loot that we have taken overseas. All of that has happened over the years has a direct correlation to these staged events over the years, like the 2017 Vegas thing, and even up to the newest thing, the National Guard thing in DC. But and I'm not saying like there weren't casualties or anything like that. I'm just saying what causes these events are completely different than what the narrative is, and we all know that. But lately I've been asking the question, why? What is the benefit of these events, and to whom, and for what reason? The Mandela affected world. Nothing makes sense here. Everything just feels staged and ridiculous. Kind of like today. I used to take the bus for several years back in the day. Never heard of blaring around. Well, I've been doing this for a year and a half now. Somehow it's been that long. God, I don't know how that happened. With the transit thing and this. And that hasn't happened to me either. Not once. Not once. It's all pretext. What's all pretext, Dan? It's all kind of like the movie The Game with Michael Douglas. That's one of the best analogies I can give. The movie The Game. DC, yeah, it is. I found a really great channel that talks about this stuff. I shared it in the community post. And, I was really never that into the 2017 Vegas thing, but only having really researched it now. I mean, that narrative, it makes absolutely no sense indeed. It makes zero sense. But we're in the game. I still don't think it's quite the same. It's not on the same level as Mr. Charlie, of course. That's a whole new level of a fiction story, but it's close. The 2017 event is close to that. Yeah, and this year in particular, Dan, has been completely nonsensical. Completely nonsensical. And I don't know what awaits for 26, but I suspect it's more of the same mind games, relentless, endless mind games, but not much else. It's funny how, I still troll PetGo 2 sometimes. Troll and laugh at them a little bit. And I had a guy who believes in the rapture respond and even say himself that, well, he's getting weary himself. Well, of course you are. Because fool me once, fool me 10 billion more times. Oh, Dan, you know two survivors from there? What do they say about the helicopters and all that suspicious stuff? Yeah, I want to know. That's really intriguing now. I want to hear their perspective. Please message that to me. I still have these skin issues a little bit. It's for the most part gone away, but there's still some residue remaining, and sometimes it flares up a little bit. And God, I wish I knew what caused the allergy or whatever the hell that was. I wish I knew what it was. Yeah, they scrubbed that out of the news. They did. They not only scrubbed that out of the news, the sheriff refused to release a lot of footage. And there was a bunch of 9-1-1 calls that came in long after that Paddock guy was gone. Long after, hours after. People saying the same thing, even though he was supposedly gone at that point. But him alone is really strange. Like, the things he did, he was definitely some kind of asset, if you know what I mean. I recommend you guys check out those videos. They're really fascinating. I mean, this guy, he researches like nobody I've ever seen. It's deep. Like, he goes really deep. I think this is simulation or base reality. I can already answer that for you, Vero. He definitely thinks it's a simulation. Whoever else is on this, I am just speaking the truth that Dan and I know and discussed for years and years now. It has been years and years now, Dan. I think we met around that time, right? 2017, 2018. And my God, look at all these years later. Still no answers. Still no clue. Still running in circles. I think reality is not what it is. It's not. There are people who say the whole Charlie Kirk thing was I don't think it was a hologram. I mean, that would have been just too difficult to fake because, I mean, there were people physically carrying him to the car. I'm not even concerned about Charlie in general. To me, I'm more interested in his wife's absolutely bizarre behavior afterwards. I had watched some of that stuff and it just made no sense to me. And yeah, people say, oh, you don't know how a grieving widow would act. Not like that. No grieving widow would act like that. I'm just telling you right now. Whatever we are observing can't occur in a natural state of cause and effect. That's right. It's not a cause and effect anymore. It's a program. It's a program, a script from code. It encodes things based on our reactivity too. So our reactivity is important because it aligns to that. So there is some truth about thoughts creating reality to some extent. There is truth to that. But it's done in such a way to kind of, I don't know what the right word is, sabotage you, blackmail you, so that you're like, the reality keeps you like stuck in that kind of cyclical pattern. It's completely unnatural. It's completely not organic. It is a story, and it's not our story. Now, if we think, life is supposed to be some video game, which I think to a degree it is, like the game is the earth, and then there's players plugging into the game, and players are in different areas, right? But they're all congregating in this one game. Instead of us being able to freely move about the game, there's like some kind of virus in it that um, causes artificial glitches and situations to arise to whatever it is benefit. You think it all shifted due to Y2K? No. It can be a holographic representation as well. To me, it was later. To me, it was after that event, 2001, Dan. To me, the Earth was still very natural and organic. And like I said before, it's not a sudden shift. There was abrupt. There were abrupt elements to it, but it was a slow gradation upward into an anomalous reality we can no longer recognize. And it's now reached the point where it's so fictitious that it doesn't even care anymore that it's fictitious. It presents itself to you however it wants with no care in the world, because it's almost like arrogantly stating to you, well, what are you going to do about it? Kind of a vibe I'm getting. They must have captured what this world was, but what that was a movie 27 years later in our world. Alright, guys, that's all. I would like to know your opinion. If you think that's strange. Just another strange coincidence. Ear holes followed by alarms. Oh, it's all just a coincidence, no worries.